What's up, people? I'm Doc Caesar, here to give you a couple reasons why you might want to give Hyperscape a shot. So, what is Hyperscape, you might be asking? Well, I'll tell you. Hyperscape is Ubisoft's first entry into the Battle Royale genre, and the game is set in a virtual futuristic setting. Now, of course, they've decided to put their own spin on the genre, and I think they've brought over some cool and interesting ideas. Now, if the mere mention of Battle Royale hasn't already made you click off of this video, let's get into some of the reasons why I think you should try Hyperscape. So the first reason you might want to try Hyperscape is because you like high mobility shooters like Titanfall. Yes, just like in that game, you've got fast slides and double jumps, but you're unfortunately lacking the wall running. Though, fear not, there are other ways to move around the map in-game thanks to its abilities known as hacks. Now, I won't go into too much detail about them just yet, but know that there are abilities such as teleports and a slam move that launches you high into the sky and allows you to cover great distances. So, although you won't be moving at the breakneck speeds available to you in Titanfall, the game is very fast-paced and the movement feels very smooth. One other thing to note is that the game has a heavy emphasis on verticality, and so pretty much every rooftop in the game is accessible in some way. And thanks to some of the abilities, you can literally leap tall buildings in a single bound. So with that being said, the second reason you might want to give Hyperscape a shot is because you like arena shooters like Quake. And those games were definitely a strong inspiration, and you can tell that Ubisoft really wanted to try and blend in those mechanics with the Battle Royale genre. So, as is typical in arena shooters, there are pickups scattered around the ground in this game. For now, these pickups range from your weapons, abilities, ammo, and the occasional health pack. The weapons handle similar to how they would in arena shooters, and the gunfights also have a familiar feel. Part of the reason why is because there's a high time to kill in this game, especially when you combine the relatively high health with the high mobility. So skill in gunfights is definitely important, especially in a 1v1 scenario, though you can offset the high time to kill in squad fights where all three of you are focusing on the same target. Now, just to give you an idea of what some of the guns are like in the game, they range from a fairly standard assault rifle to a Gatling gun with a near bottomless mag, a grenade launcher, a sniper, and a single shot energy cannon. Now there's other guns in the game, but that should give you an idea of what to look for when you start playing. The third reason you might want to give this game a shot is because you're a fan of hero shooters. Now there aren't really heroes in the game, but as I mentioned before, there are ability pickups scattered throughout the map. Because the abilities are pickups, I think it provides some interesting opportunities for customization within the gameplay. The abilities in the game aren't too different from what you might expect, although there are some that don't really show up in other games. I mentioned earlier that there's a slam ability that allows you to leap over buildings and cross great distances while using it. There's also an ability that protects you from harm by turning you into a giant metal ball, and you literally just bounce around the arena for a while until someone breaks it. You can also put up walls to block off enemy movement, kind of like Mei from Overwatch. The rest of the abilities are a bit more standard, like the teleport, invisibility, and a radar ping that reveals enemies within range. There's more abilities to find when you start playing the game, but again, I think the abilities are generally pretty cool. So the last reason I have that you might want to give Hyperscape a shot is because you're looking for a Battle Royale game that's actually trying to change up the formula a bit in interesting ways. So one way that the game is trying to put a twist on the genre is by removing the typical circle that closes in slowly over time during matches. Instead of the circle, the map is broken into sectors, which over time eventually will decay, leaving nothing but empty space on the map. I think it looks pretty cool when you're inside of the decaying sector and you're frantically trying to get inside of the safe area, but the buildings around you are all disappearing at once. This can make you an easy target when you're trying to get into the safe area if you wait too long, because you won't have any cover from people waiting to snipe you as you're coming in. Another interesting mechanic is that you can level up your weapons and abilities by finding copies of them around the map. This is important because unlike in other Battle Royale games, there are no rarities assigned to the items around the map. So your primary way of getting better gear is to fuse them and upgrade them. Now, the alternative here is that you can potentially find a fully upgraded version of some item through a chest if you get lucky. As far as the abilities go, upgrading them will only give you a faster cooldown time, while weapons, on the other hand, can get bigger magazine sizes and do more damage, so you definitely want to be looking to upgrade them as soon as possible. So probably the biggest and most unique twist that Ubisoft decided to put into Hyperscape is the echo system. How this works is, when you die in Hyperscape, instead of going down or just being completely out like in other Battle Royale games, instead you become an echo, which allows you to run around the map freely and even ping opponents for your teammates. This is a really interesting idea because it allows your teammates to contribute to the game even after they die, instead of just sitting there watching you like they would in most other Battle Royale games. And by the way, while your teammates are in echo form, you can see them, but your opponents can't, which makes it a lot easier for them to go out ahead and do some recon for you. Now, when they're ready to be revived, your teammates can see revive points around the map, which they can ping for you so that you can come and pick them up and get them back into the game. The last twist that Hyperscape uses to set itself apart from its competition is the in-game events. So periodically throughout the match, you'll get a notification saying that the viewers have voted for some event ranging from a low gravity event, a health pack event, or even a triple jump event. As you can see, some of these events can really change the gameplay up, and they can happen at random times during a game, so you have to always be prepared for it. I haven't seen this part myself, but apparently the in-game events can be triggered by viewers in live streams, so they can be more active participants while watching the game. So if you stuck around this long and anything that I said about the game actually piqued your interest, maybe try giving Hyperscape a shot. Right now it's in closed beta, but you can get a code by just watching streamers, and it's supposed to be going into open beta very soon. Hit that subscribe button if you want to see more Hyperscape or other content on this channel, and I'll see you next time.